In a world increasingly mapped and explored, the idea of an unknown ancient forest might seem like a fantasy. Yet, in 1994, deep within a rugged, inaccessible gorge in Australia's Wollemi National Park, an extraordinary discovery was made. What began as a routine hike for a park ranger became an encounter with living history. This wasn't just a new species, it was a ghost from a forgotten era, a tree thought to have vanished from the earth millions of years ago, clinging to existence in a secluded canyon. Its very presence was a miracle, a testament to nature's enduring capacity for surprise. The tree was quickly identified as a Wollemi pine, a species previously known only from fossils dating back 200 million years. This living fossil, a relic from the age of dinosaurs, stood proudly in its hidden sanctuary. Its distinctive bubbly bark, fern-like leaves, and unusual cones immediately set it apart from any known plant species. Scientists were awestruck. Finding a Wollemi pine alive was akin to discovering a living dinosaur roaming the earth. It represented an unparalleled opportunity to study a plant lineage that predated many of the modern plant families we know today, offering a direct link to Earth's ancient past. The excitement of rediscovery was tempered by a stark reality: the total wild population of Wollemi pines comprised fewer than 100 individual trees, concentrated in just 2 small groves. This incredibly limited genetic diversity made the species extraordinarily vulnerable. A single disease outbreak, a sudden climate shift, or an environmental catastrophe could wipe out the entire wild population in one swift blow. The sheer rarity meant that every single tree was precious, and their collective survival hung by a delicate thread, demanding immediate and radical action to secure their future against all odds. Recognizing the immense value and extreme fragility of the Wollemi pine, Australian authorities immediately initiated an unprecedented conservation effort. The exact location of the wild groves was kept a closely guarded secret, known only to a handful of scientists and park rangers. Entry was strictly prohibited to prevent accidental contamination, disease introduction, or illegal poaching. This Operation Wollemi involved elaborate measures, including aerial surveillance and careful monitoring, to ensure that humanity's footprint on this ancient, secluded ecosystem remained minimal, giving the species its best chance at unhindered survival in its natural habitat. While protecting the wild trees was paramount, it was clear that relying solely on the tiny wild population was too risky. The long-term survival strategy centered on a daring and ambitious cloning program. Scientists carefully collected cuttings and seeds, embarking on a mission to propagate the Wollemi pine artificially. This initiative aimed to create a genetically identical insurance population that could be grown in botanic gardens and private collections worldwide. The goal was to spread the genetic material far and wide, diversifying its habitat and reducing the risk of a single catastrophic event wiping out the entire species, ensuring its legacy. Through meticulous horticultural techniques, the cloning program proved incredibly successful. Wollemi pines, once confined to a single, secret gorge, began to sprout in nurseries and botanic gardens across the globe. This widespread distribution served a dual purpose: it significantly reduced the species' extinction risk and introduced the public to this botanical marvel. People could now buy and grow their own dinosaur tree, fostering a sense of connection and responsibility for its continued survival. What was once an untouchable rarity became a symbol of hope and a living piece of ancient history accessible to everyone. For decades, the conservation efforts proceeded with quiet success. But the Wollemi pine's ancient home, Australia, faced an escalating crisis. The 2019 to 2020 bushfire season brought unprecedented devastation, fueled by record-breaking temperatures and prolonged drought. Fires raged across millions of hectares, destroying homes, wildlife, and vast tracts of natural bushland. As the inferno spread, a terrifying question loomed: could the Wollemi pine's last wild sanctuary, a place hidden for millennia, withstand a firestorm of this magnitude? The very existence of this living fossil was suddenly thrust into immediate peril, threatening to undo decades of careful protection. The fires rapidly approached Wollemi National Park, threatening the vulnerable Wollemi pine groves. Located in a deep, isolated canyon, the trees were particularly susceptible. While natural fire is part of the Australian landscape, the intensity and scale of these fires were unprecedented. The dense smoke and extreme heat created an apocalyptic atmosphere, making direct access and firefighting operations incredibly dangerous. Scientists and fire crews watched anxiously as the flames drew closer, knowing that if the fire reached the groves unchecked, the ancient Wollemi pines, having survived countless epochs, could finally be lost forever in a matter of hours. With the ancient trees facing imminent destruction, an elite team of firefighters and conservationists launched a desperate, high-stakes mission. Their objective: save the last remaining wild Wollemi pines. This wasn't a standard firefighting operation. The remote, rugged terrain made access treacherous, and the extreme fire behavior meant traditional methods were insufficient. They knew that if these trees were lost, a piece of Earth's deep time would be erased forever. The weight of millions of years of natural history rested on their shoulders, demanding courage and ingenuity in the face of an overwhelming natural disaster. The strategy was ingenious and perilous. Specialized remote area firefighting crews, inserted by helicopter, descended into the canyon. Their primary task was not to extinguish the main fire, but to create a drip line around the trees. This involved spraying water from the air and on the ground, setting up an intricate irrigation system to soak the surrounding area and raise humidity, effectively creating a protective buffer. They also deployed retardant directly onto the trees, coating their precious bark and foliage in a fire-resistant layer. It was a race against time, a direct confrontation with the inferno. For days, the crews battled the encroaching flames, working under extreme conditions, breathing smoke-filled air, and navigating the treacherous terrain. The temperatures were scorching, and the threat of ember attacks was constant. The stakes were incredibly high, every decision, every drop of water, every moment counted. They weren't just fighting a fire, they were fighting for the future of a species that had cheated extinction for millions of years. Their dedication was unwavering, driven by the profound understanding of what they stood to lose and the responsibility they felt towards this irreplaceable ancient lineage. When the immediate threat of the fire had passed and the smoke began to clear, an anxious assessment followed. The remote location, once a haven, was now a scarred landscape. Many parts of the national park were devastated. As conservationists cautiously entered the canyons, fearing the worst, they discovered an unbelievable sight. Thanks to the heroic efforts of the firefighting teams, the majority of the Wollemi pines had survived. While some showed signs of scorching, the core groves, the very heart of the species, stood defiantly, scarred but alive. It was a victory, small but immensely significant, against nature's fury. The survival of the Wollemi pines during such an intense fire season was a profound testament to their incredible resilience, coupled with human intervention. These trees, having evolved over millennia, possessed inherent mechanisms to withstand certain environmental pressures. However, the scale of the 2019 to 2020 fires likely exceeded anything they had faced in recent geological history. Their survival underscored the critical balance between natural endurance and the vital role of dedicated conservation efforts in preserving unique biodiversity in a rapidly changing world. It was a clear example of nature's ancient wisdom meeting modern scientific stewardship. In the years following the catastrophic fires, the Wollemi pine groves have been under continuous, vigilant monitoring. Scientists regularly visit the remote canyons, assessing the health of the surviving trees, tracking their recovery, and studying the impact of the fire. This ongoing research is crucial for understanding how the species responds to such extreme events and for developing even more robust conservation strategies for the future. While the immediate threat has passed, the long-term work of ensuring the Wollemi pine's survival against future challenges, particularly in a climate of increasing fire risk, continues unabated. The story of the Wollemi pine is more than just the survival of a single species, it's a powerful narrative about our collective responsibility towards Earth's biodiversity. Its journey from a hidden grove to global gardens, and its dramatic rescue from the jaws of a wildfire, highlights the interconnectedness of all life. Every Wollemi pine growing in a botanic garden or private collection serves as an ambassador for conservation, reminding us of the hidden wonders that still exist and the ongoing effort required to protect them. It's a call to action, demonstrating what can be achieved with dedication. The Wollemi Pine's tale is one of extraordinary resilience, both natural and human. It stands as a symbol of hope in an era of environmental challenges, proving that even species on the very brink of extinction can be pulled back. From its secret rediscovery in 1994 to its heroic rescue during the devastating bushfires, this ancient tree continues to defy expectations. Its survival reminds us that precious relics of our planet's past still exist, and with unwavering commitment, we can ensure they continue to thrive, offering insights into deep time and inspiring future generations to protect the wild wonders of our world.